Yeah. Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. We are in the building. It is a bright and early Wednesday. And present here to fulfill your day, here to fulfill your life and your energy, and just make you feel all kinds of sexy and nice inside. And that's what we're doing here for you. To my crew, Rockstone Triz, Miss Tony B. Knowin. How y'all doing?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm doing okay.
Good.
That's as far as it is. You know what I discovered? Interesting fact. Women also get something similar to blue balls, and guess what it's called?
Blue balls.
Purple walls.
Pink walls.
Pink walls.
It's called blue bean.
I don't like it.
It's called blue bean.
Oh, like a little bean.
Yeah,
Oh. That's true too, because I've gotten a couple of blue beans.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I discovered yesterday.
I think I gave myself the blue beans because I could have unblued. I could have unblued the bean.
What?
But I got to be a lady. I can't be wanting more. I don't know what I'm saying, but you know what I'm saying.
I'm trying to figure out what you're saying.
I don't know what you're saying either, but anyhow, so that was that. But besides that, I'm doing all right. I suppose, the sun is out a little bit today. We're not clear of the rain just yet, but the sun is out a little bit today. My allergies haven't been terrible, but I've been very, very sleepy.
Very sleepy.
Very sleepy.
Think it's the medication?
Huh?
Think it's the medication?
Yeah, probably. But in the rain, and my mood has been a little piss poor. But
Hopefully
every day is a new day to start over.
It's a new day, it's a new life, it's a new hand. I'm feeling good. I just want you guys to know that I too have the worst PMS that could possibly be. But when I come on this show, something snaps out of me. And for these 2 hours, I am all yours, 100% positive and wonderful. As soon as we get off the air, I'll be like, to hell with everybody. And today I'm going home early, goddammit. I think I had an appointment, so I can't.
That's good.
What about you, Rockstone Triz?
I'm doing good once again. Just been busting out a lot of flyers. Been doing a lot of work for the summer. And that's it. I had a nice yesterday. Chill.
A nice what?
Evening yesterday.
A nice evening.
What was so nice about it?
It was just chill.
Oh, that's nice. Good for
The
you.
weather was nice. Cool.
That's not nice. Very nice.
That's it.
That's very nice.
And how about you, Sauce? How you doing?
I'm well. Last evening, I don't remember what I did.
You chill.
I went to go handle my situation. It's ugly. It's so ugly.
What situation? What happened?
My finger when it got ripped off because we couldn't really do a lot to it because of the intensified pains of it. And it's gonna most likely fall off soon, so we just kind of left it be.
It broke that low?
The whole nail lifted off the bed. It's only stuck on probably by pus and fragments. So right now it's still stuck on, but if any movement, it will just, yeah. It's from the rooter. I've lost the nail.
Bless your heart.
Yes, like my toe. Remember the things fell on my toe? I had to lose the whole toe. I think that's what's gonna happen with this one.
No, that's awesome.
She was like, "Oh no, honey, that's not a break. That's a trauma." Oh, okay.
My nether regions can't take those kinds of stories at all.
But this is where we're at in the. At this point, have heard of her because she's the only black woman down in Seaport doing the business, and now in Foxwoods doing her thing too. So we're gonna be talking to her later. We're gonna find out all about the hospitality industry and what's really going on in there, and then We'll have some fun later with our entertainment. So with that said, give it up a share. Give it up a share. Let people know what you're listening to and what you're watching. And we are outside. Spark FM Online, Saucy and Friends. Let's go.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Trends.
Call Spark FM at 617-272-3387.
You are enjoying the miracle of radio.
New England's #1 urban Caribbean music.
Fins Fusion.
Spark FM.
Fins Fusion. Make sure you guys go visit Fins Fusion at 1193 Blue Hill Avenue. It's 1193?
Everything I see says
Yep,
1191.
It's 96.
1190. No,
I-
we're 1195.
It's less than us.
Huh?
We 1195.
Yeah.
He's
11
1193.
91.
91.
He's 1191.
Oh, okay.
1190. It don't matter. 1195 is connected to 1191. Just come down here. You see Fins Fusion before you see us. One thing I want to tell you guys is that it is expensive everywhere. Here, you can get $6 lunch plates.
What?
$6 lunch plates.
Stop it.
And if you go in the morning, you get these very wonderfully made and baked.
Handmade with real eggs.
Handmade with real eggs baked. Or we have sandwiches today, so any type of sandwich that you want to, whether you want a little turkey, when you want a little cheese, whether you want a little
Saltfish.
saltfish, with smoked heron.
For the Rasta.
Herring.
Herring. Oh, herring.
Oh, no, we don't want to smoke heroin.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Lord.
Lord, who would?
That's funny.
Nobody got time for that.
One thing that they will not do, and this is my one negative to them, they need to start cutting my sandwich in a diagonal. Yeah. See, look, see how they all agree. They got to cut this sandwich in half so I can enjoy it goodly. But I'm gonna enjoy it, all of it, right now.
I just started telling him to just make my sandwich on one slice of bread though, because I always take off one slice.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Terrible.
Slice bread.
Too much carbs?
I love carb.
You know, I don't like bread by itself.
Oh.
I don't know why, what that is. Like, I was eating pizza the other day, and like when I got to the part where there was no more topping, I couldn't eat anymore.
Oh.
And like when I'm getting like a wrap sandwich, if it's too much wrap, I have to take it off.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, so
Dry.
I'm gonna eat 2 pieces of bread on camera.
yeah, I don't like excess bread. But anyhow, oh no,
Yes, gotta get into stories.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do the thing, girl.
I'm trying to get the
Historianos.
weather.
Mm.
Today's gonna be partly cloudy conditions expected around 10 a.m. Wind gusts up to 15 miles per hour. Today's gonna reach a high of 72. And right now my app is not telling me it's going to rain, even though the week had said it is gonna rain every day. Today it's not giving me any raindrops on my whole thing. So it might be a nice day today for people to go outside. I ain't been able to walk the dog good in a couple of days. But today we gonna walk our little ass off.
Walk your ass off.
Walk it out.
Walk it up.
So, and it is right now, it is 9:24 a.m.
Yeah.
And the traffic is decent today, depending on what parts of Boston you are. And that's my general traffic report.
That is very nice to know. Thank you,
You're
and I
welcome.
love it.
And with that said, let's get into our
Let's
local
get
news.
Into the local news. This BPS teacher was attacked by her student, and the district has left her behind, she says. That sounds crazy. Maya Jones has been on medical leave with PTSD since October of last year after a student repeatedly punched her in the face,
What the
she
hell?
said.
Oh.
Boston public school teacher says she was violently attacked at her Roxbury school by a student, then retaliated against by the district for requesting safeguards ahead of her own return to the classroom. I could have been hurt. I could have been killed. I could have been maimed, said Maya Jones, an 8th grade teacher at the Tobin School, a K-8 school near Roxbury Crossing. We have no security protocol in the building. There's no discipline protocol. The code of conduct isn't being followed. Just a month into the school year, while holding a community meeting about the uptick in student disrespect with multiple adults in the room, a teen girl verbally assaulted her before slamming her laptop down and charging at Jones, according to the teacher. She punches me directly in the face. She's repeatedly hitting me in the head, in the face, and the jaw, Jones said when describing the attack, noting that her glasses were knocked off her face with the first punch. Now the 14-year-old girl, the now 14-year-old girl in Jones fell to the floor before the teacher was physically restrained, before the girl, was physically restrained by a Boston Teachers Union representative who was also pushed down before the principal restrained the teen, according to Jones. But the police weren't called, and the student was back in the classroom a few weeks after the incident, despite promises to transfer her to another school. Jones has been adamant to BPS leaders that she doesn't want to be transferred to another school. I want to return back to my school. I want to go back to my school, she said. She has been on medical leave with PTSD since the assault in August of last year. Jones' story is becoming increasingly more common amongst public school teachers. Post-pandemic, nearly 80% of teachers reported at least one incident of verbal harassment or threatening behavior from students, according to the American Psychological Association, up from 65% before the pandemic. A paraprofessional at a school in Dorchester lost consciousness after a student attacked him in 2023, and multiple adults had to intervene to get the student off of the educator. Another teacher in Mattapan was hospitalized after attempting to intervene in an after-school fight that same year. I remember that, too. Other large school districts outside of Boston, and they didn't even mention the principal that was attacked at the Henderson School. Other large school districts outside of Boston have struggled with escalating violence. Some school officials in Brockton wanted to call in the National Guard because of violence in their high school, the largest in the state, last year. A teacher was then injured during a fight in a school hallway. Last fall, teachers in Revere appealed the city council for more support after a teacher was injured during a massive brawl. I heard about incidents related to school safety happening all across our district, Revere Teachers Association co-president Jane Chapin said at the time. We are at a breaking point. District leadership seriously botched the incident involving Jones and her student, according to the Boston Teachers Union communication. BPS did not follow their own protocols and butchered the handling of the incident, the email communication read. This is a far cry from ensuring that there is a safety plan in place and feels like a betrayal of what was promised. BPS leadership appears to have tried to transfer Jones to an elementary school and even mistakenly sent her paperwork to retire. The attempted transfer was done prematurely, and severance paperwork was also error, BPS leaders told Jones, according to emails obtained by Boston.com. I'm completely blindsided, Jones said. While district leadership first indicated that the student would be safely transferred to another school, Jones then received notice from colleagues that BPS let her off on an email signaling the student's return to the classroom. They said initially that she should transfer schools to get her to the resources and support she needs, Jones said. The tone was conciliatory with the district, and then they said they have to honor the student's rights and they don't want to aid and abet the criminal justice system.
All right.
I mean, shit. Let me tell you something. As I'm listening to you read that, I was automatically just kind of aggravated because, what first thing came in my head is when Trump signed the executive order to bring back punishment into the school. Mm-hmm. This is the problem. There's absolutely no consequences. That little girl, after she attacked the teacher in the first story, should have automatically been expelled from school and never to go back into the school system. And to not go back to that school again. But making teachers suffer because of the actions of children, crazy. Yeah. It's absolutely crazy.
They said that Jones did file a police report. She filed a police report against the teen's best friend because the best friend was making threats to her. They confirmed, a spokesperson for the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office confirmed that both students were charged. The 14-year-old who allegedly attacked Jones is charged with assault and battery and will go through a juvenile program as an alternative to a formal criminal charge. And the other student, who is 13 years old, is charged with threats and witness intimidation.
Witness intimidation? What does a 13-year-old know about witness intimidation?
That's what she was telling. She was making threats towards the woman for pressing charges against her best friend. These kids are wild.
You press charge up my best friend, I'm gonna kill you. Wow. You're 13. I swear, I wish a teacher would tell me that CK ever once thought about kind of doing a little bit of that foolishness. Because the one time they called me, told me he was doing a little cuss words in school, I popped up in the schoolhouse like a thief in the night. Good evening. Hello, I am here. What's going on? Bring him from lunch. Let's have a conversation.
Big happy birthday shout out to my first friend forever, Dee Dee. Today is Dee Dee's birthday. Happy birthday, Dee Dee. Happy birthday to our good friend Ioma. Today is
One
her
of my
birthday.
longest friends ever as well. I think I've
longest
known Ioma since the second grade.
Yes.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to Deandra Tull.
All right, Deandra Tull.
That's
That
another one of
that's
your
another
long friends.
long friends.
And happy
Add Deandra
birthday.
back to my page. I don't think she.
Happy birthday to Eric Johnson, who is our cousin's husband and our father's name partner.
Damn, all your Tauruses is outside with it.
The Taurus is
Outside
out.
with
It's
it.
Taurus season. It's everybody's on they bullish. Got that from Super Bones. Anyhow, next, what else do we have? Karen Reed update. Karen Reed's voicemail to John O'Keefe played in the murder trial. And in the voicemail, she says, I effing hate you.
We got
Yes.
it right here.
This is Karen Reed's call.
John, I'm here with your kids. Nobody knows what the you want, you pervert.
What? What's it?
I'm
She
here
said
with
you're
your
a pervert.
with your.
At 1 in the morning, I'm with your niece and nephew. You pervert. You're a pervert. John, I'm going home. I cannot babysit your niece. I need to go home. You are using me right now. You're another girl sleeping next to me. You're a loser.
So this is when she didn't know where he was.
Yeah.
Yes, I need someone.
Can I? Quick pause. So, okay. Let's do this. She hits him. Then what? This clearly shows that she didn't know that she hit him.
Yeah.
So why are we going so hard at this woman who clearly had no idea, even if she did hit him, that she actually hit him? They said that she went crazy. She called him like 47 times, left 8 text messages and like 52 voicemails or something like that. I don't know where the numbers are inverted at. But what is it that I'm hearing what are you guys hearing in
They're
those
saying
voicemails?
that she set up. She planned all. She planned all those calls.
Oh, she planned to stay up screaming and crying and then decided to switch it because they said at first she was super aggressive. Like, F you, you're a pervert, care with your kids, where the F are you, where the F are you, where the F are you? And then it switched to John, where are you? Why are you not coming home? John, what's going on?
Yeah.
So what she planned psychologically to crash out and to uncrash and then to crash out in a different way all
And
in the
this
time?
phone call was 1 minute after walking into her house without him that she called him and left this voicemail. So
And she continued for 7 hours.
Yeah.
I think they said.
Yeah.
So that they say that's planned.
yeah.
What? Oh wow.
They think she the white man that was Googling how to get rid
Oh,
of my
how to kill my
5'2"
5'2"
white wife in the basement of my address at 11 Sycamore Street.
With a saw, and which store is the closest one to get all of the things to cut her up
Yeah.
and bury her?
Somebody said in one of the comments, one of the first comments here, I find it hard to believe they didn't check neighboring houses for cameras to get recordings for evidence. In today's police world, that should have been a priority. Interesting, too, is the neighbor with the camera, once hearing what happened, didn't check it himself. I recognize it may have been a dummy camera, but the article made it sound like it may have been operating. I might have solved this case. Yeah.
The thing is,
Nobody had no ring doorbell or
That's
nothing?
what we have gotten things in the mailbox from BPD to ask us about, they just write the date and the time on there like, hey, your camera, did it see anything at this time?
Yeah.
Why do you go to somebody's house who's been killed and mauled by a car down in the snowy and you don't check for anybody's camera? And I just don't understand what kind of police investigation doesn't go into the house in which he was found to question the people outside, and how we immediately draw to the conclusion that this woman violently drove down her boyfriend.
Yeah. The prosecution. Somebody else says the prosecution is overreaching and trying this as a murder. At the most, a vehicular manslaughter charge would get a conviction. Just because she is unlikable does not mean she's guilty. If the victim was not a police officer, this would not be prosecuted as a murder, and I agree with that. Somebody else said, I'm predicting that nobody will ever be held accountable. She has enough reasonable doubt to be acquitted. The sketchy cops also have reasonable doubt, even though they should all be fired for poor performance. The storm itself interrupted the entire crime scene, and everyone should walk. This case. I think this case is a waste of resources. I think it's a waste of time. I think it's foolish, and leave that white woman alone. Let Karen go.
Let Karen go. Free what is
Karen.
it?
Free Karen.
What would the girl say, Brittany? Leave Karen alone.
Yep.
Leave Karen alone.
Follow up on the story that we reported yesterday about the woman that was kicked out for her appearance from the Boston hotel.
Yeah.
The security guard has been suspended.
Suspended.
They have suspended
He should
the
have been.
security
He
guard.
should have been fired and charged with sexual assault.
And I agree with that. And hate crime.
Yes.
The Boston hotel has suspended one of its security guards after investigating a Saturday incident in which a woman says her gender and the use of the women's bathroom were challenged. The Liberty Hotel, which is located at Boston's West End neighborhood, said in a Tuesday statement that it takes the matter seriously and that its general manager reached out to the people involved in the incident that day. The hotel has also decided that all staff will undergo a mandatory retraining on inclusive practices and guest interaction protocols, with a particular focus on creating a safe and welcoming space for LGBTQ plus individuals.
Liberty Hotel Boston is taking immediate action after a woman said she was confronted in a hotel bathroom and asked to provide proof of gender. Now, Ansley Baker and her girlfriend Liz Victor said they were in the women's bathroom over the weekend when a male security guard came in and started banging on the stall doors. Baker said the security guard told her to get out of the bathroom because she's a man. On a statement, the hotel said they're taking this incident seriously and have reached out to both Baker and Victor.
Nope. I would have said he forced me. Let me not say that because that's not nice. But yeah, that's.
But he
crazy.
did. He went into the bathroom. They were in the stalls. It's not like they were in the outside area. They were in the stalls. He went and knocked on the doors
And
while
made
they
her
were in the
open it,
stalls.
yeah.
Made her open the door and then whatever he did to berate her. That's.
So they need training on DEI.
They need training in a whole bunch of letters.
It's an MYOB. That's
Yeah.
what it need training on.
DEI, LGBTQ.
And I don't believe that there were
MYOB.
women going in there talking about there's
LI.
a man in the bathroom. There's a man in the bathroom. Nobody ever did that.
No, they
Nobody-
didn't because who cares
We at the
about that?
Liberty at the hotel. They down there. They fine. Everybody's fine.
It's hump day. Good I don't know why I said that out loud. Sorry, I was typing that. My bad. Sorry.
Well,
Woo!
somebody's fresh.
Passerby sparks outrage with a photo of a ridiculous scene at a historic Boston landmark and says, "Is nothing sacred?"
What is it?
I don't know. Bostonians did not love the latest sign of advertising run amok. In true Boston fashion, they didn't mince words about it. A user took a photo of a couple on advertisements that recently went up around historic Quincy Market and asked our Boston, I think that's Reddit Boston community, for their thoughts. So what does it say? Among the pillars of the building that went up in 1826, there are two very large banner ads for Nissan Kicks. While not as sacrilegious as putting these ads on the side of the Paul Revere statue, the prominence of the banners drew outrage from the community. The more charitable Redditors called it ridiculous and tacky. The proliferation of ads from historic buildings to beaches feeds into the culture of overconsumption. It can be an eyesore for people trying to appreciate historic or naturally beautiful places. Oh, I get it.
Did you see what the white people got time for?
See, that's where I went. Like, fine, it is tacky. Like, that is just ugly and tacky.
Yeah,
but is this, y'all rallying around the banners? Y'all don't want to rally around healthcare and Medicare and school lunches for children? This what you want to be upset about.
But in the same token, Donald Trump is worried about crap like this too. Donald Trump is worried about Tesla and children having lunch and what else?
Paper straws.
Right, like these are the things that you're
Gulf
worried about.
of America.
There are more things that you need to be worried about. Mind your business when it comes to other things. Leave these things to other people. This is so crazy.
This is so interesting. When you guys think about where you are politically, right wing, MAGA, extreme leftism, and they, their, thems, where do you guys feel like you land? Don't say right in the middle. Where are you leaning more towards? Are you more of let's not MAGA. Yeah. Let's just conservative versus, where are you on that spectrum?
I
If there was no party, where would you lean towards? More conservative values or more
Progressive,
liberal?
right?
Not progressive. I would say more liberal.
It's conservative, more liberal versus liberal. I mean, I feel like I'm maybe a little bit more liberal leaning, but I'm still.
What's some of the things you draw the line on?
60%. I don't know. What was something you just mentioned?
It might be controversial, but we're just having a small discussion amongst yourselves. And any questions that I'm asking, I hope that you guys ask in the comment section too. What I'm saying, like, I don't like all of the pronouns, but I also don't care. I'm not going to use them.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to force me to use them, but I don't care what you decide to call yourself. Yeah. It doesn't affect me.
That's definitely
I might not want to see a whole bunch of same-sex, kissing on TV. Or let's not even go that way, because I don't want to see anybody that much kissing on TV. I'm one of these people. So hetero, cis, whatever it is.
I'm one of these people.
Like immigration. Yeah, immigration, for instance. I feel many different ways. I feel like should close the borders. And I feel like if you did come here illegally and you are doing bad things, you should go to court and you should immediately just go home.
Due process.
That's it. I don't care if I think I wouldn't even necessarily mind if Donald Trump was like, everybody that we round up has to go to court first and then we'll send them away. Mm-hmm. I don't like the round them up like animals, put them on a plane and send them to jail because they're hardened criminals.
Let's
just not do that.
With the due process thing, that's not a hard fight for me. Mm-hmm. If you're a bad person and you did bad things, you don't get no due process.
Exactly.
F out of here. That's how I feel about that.
Yep.
I do feel like they need to bring back the Pledge Allegiance into classes. Like that and like school, there needs to be a lot of reform. We need to go back to a lot of the things that used to happen in schools. Mm-hmm. Needs to happen again with these children, and I feel strongly about that as a parent.
You mean disciplining?
Discipline, yes, definitely. But just like some regulation, some like
you cannot slam a child in the wall, but you can yoke them up. Maybe.
You can snatch them up. Yeah, like things like that. Like I'm not, like bring back, lean on me, like that type situation. These kids need some, and us parents need support from teachers from other people everywhere. Yeah. The kid needs to be disciplined the same way across the board, and I feel like that's what we had. It was in line back then. Now there's too much.
I feel like there was I wouldn't ever say a balance, because we don't really. I also do not like the Democrats. I also do not like the Republicans. Mm-hmm. Like that's how I started thinking about this yesterday. I think that the Democrats are soft and just sneaky.
Yeah.
And sneaky and by the books. I feel like the conservatives all want everybody to believe the same thing, understand the same thing, feel the same thing, and everybody do the same thing like a prisoner, like an army. Like there's no rigidity, there's nothing. It's just like we're all thinking the same. Period. So I don't know where to land. Like I'm not repping for either one of them, but I guess I'm for everybody just minding their damn business.
Yeah.
Like somebody was telling me the art of negotiation. Who was I speaking to? Oh, Malcolm. Like in negotiation, as long as both of us end up unhappy about what we first went into, I think that's how it should be. There should be nobody that's saying, "Oh, I won up this other person in business." That doesn't make any sense. We both go in there saying, "Oh, I want $1 million. I want $1 million." We settle at $500. I'm happy and mad at the same time, because I would rather $1 million. Not I'm gonna get $1 million and you're gonna get 100. That's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah.
And this is what I don't like about America. It just seems very simple to me.
Yeah, I mean things. I don't know.
So Malika said, I think the focus on gender and what people do behind closed doors is none of the government's business. Also, women's rights and religion. See, me too. I just feel like my body, my choice. As long as it doesn't outwardly affect me. Mm-hmm. Like I see people from all over the place talking about, yeah, get the immigrants out of there and transgender children in the bathroom. You have never even seen a transgender person. You have never even seen it. So why is that such a passionate talking point for you? What child do you know that went through gender affirming surgery that you know that you're so passionate about what should happen to somebody else's child or to somebody else's body?
Yeah. I don't know. Everybody needs to just mind their business. Mind your business and go on about your goddamn business. Go on about your day. Anyhow, these people are mad because these signs is up on the building. And I understand if you want to take a picture of the Quincy Mark, you don't want to see no Nissan kicks. But it's not enough for me to go to the government about it.
Write a letter and be like, I can't believe you would put up these banners.
Police evacuate the Abington Walmart following a report of a bomb threat. Several law enforcement agencies responded to a retail store in Abington Tuesday afternoon following a report of a bomb threat. According to the police, the threat was reported at about 2:20 p.m. at the Walmart on Brockton Ave. All available cruisers responded to the store while the building was evacuated. Why they all had to go there? Why all the available cruisers had to go?
Abington probably got about 6.
Due to the size of the store, Abington officials contacted the Massachusetts State Police Bomb Squad for additional support. Officer Morgan and K9 Harlow, along with 3 additional K9 units from...
Sorry. If I get another dog, that's what I'm going to name it?
No, I was just going to say that.
What, K9?
Well,
I was going to say that.
Harlow.
Harlow.
Oh, Harlow.
It's a great name.
That's my stripper name is Chevelle Harlow.
Oh.
It's very nice.
No.
Ain't that cute? That's a cute name. That's a cute stripper name. Along with the 3 additional K9 units from the state police researched the Walmart and found no suspicious items or threats, according to police. The scene was cleared at 3:43 p.m. and turned back over to Walmart management. There were no reports of injuries. 3 additional 911 calls were also happening at the same time of the store threat, according to investigators. So I wonder if the available cruisers went to those. I don't know.
That's messed up.
Yeah, we're incredibly proud of our team, including our dispatcher at the Holbrook Regional Emergency Communications Center for their professionalism and composure during what was an exceptionally busy period for our day shift, Abington Police wrote on their social media. That is nice. Look how they thank their people. Nice. Board approves permanent use of a former Jamaica Plain hotel as a homeless shelter.
Wait. Oh. Because did we read the story of the one on Mass Ave that they are officially turning that into a hotel? We read that.
Yeah,
Okay.
we talked about that.
Yeah,
so the Zoning Board of Appeal today formally approved the conversion of the former Envision Hotel at 81 South Huntington Ave in Jamaica Plain into a homeless shelter, something it's actually been used as since 2021. Because I was about to say, ain't it a homeless shelter? Because I know that there's a lot of homeless people live there. Anyway, today's 6-1 vote legalizes Victory Program's use of the building for a shelter for up to 55 people by changing the building's official designation from hotel to homeless shelter. Victory purchased the building in December for $15.8 million, in part through a loan from the city. Victory, a nonprofit, is headquartered a few blocks down South Huntington Avenue. Nearby residents urged the zoning board not to approve the formal change of use, pointing to what they said was a growing problem with discarded needles and loitering, and of shelter residents rummaging through their trash, stealing their packages and food deliveries, breaking car and apartment windows, and harassing people, in particularly women, walking down the street. Yeah, that would be reason to not do that. But they voted for it, and now it's going to be there. Hello. No, that's that. Library groundbreaking launches a $30.9 million project in Fields Corner.
So, before we go into this, just a little math. Why this whole library cost $30 million American dollars to build?
30.9 million. So isn't that 31 million?
Yeah. Why is that? Why does it cost so much? And second of all, if this costs 30 million and there's 200 million. I was thinking about White Stadium. White Stadium is at 200 million, but this little library here is at 30 million.
And that's the key word, this little library, because that library is tiny.
It is tiny.
If they take that library and move it over to the Blarney Stone, then they would have a lot bigger space. That would make a lot more sense than them spending $30 million on this
and
corner.
make it a library cafe.
Yeah.
Where you could get a little sandwich and parfaits and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, they already got so many sandwich and parfait places right there in that area.
They
Drink.
Oh, they do. The ice cream. Yep.
Parfait.
Pizza.
Banh Mi. McDonald's. Everything is right there. So I don't know what I don't know if
They
need
need
to do
to.
that.
They need to stay
They
a
need to
sit
make
down
it a
restaurant.
library and wine bar.
Yeah.
Yes.
Read a book.
Yes, as work begins in earnest at a $30.9 million project to build a new branch library in Fields Corner this month. Mayor Wu and other elected leaders joined Boston Public Library officials and residents for an official groundbreaking ceremony on Monday afternoon. Libraries, we all know, are about much more than the books, Wu said as cars pass by along Dorchester Avenue. They're really about the home away from home for every generation of our community. In that way, our trusted and beloved staff members at the library are like an extension of each and every one of our families in the neighborhood. Wu, joined by State Senator Nick Collins, City Councilors Ruth Z. Lujan, Erin Murphy, and John Fitzgerald, spoke across the street from the current library branch at 1520 Dorchester Ave, which is well on the way to demolition. BPL President David Leonard said the modern building that will replace the 1969 structure will be a dynamic community hub, a place for lifelong learning, digital access, civic engagement, creativity, and connection. He added that it's more essential than ever. Libraries bridge divides, offer safe spaces, and empower individuals. The project, part of the mayor's FY 26 to 30 capital plan, calls for a two-story, 14,500 square foot building with amenities like a 100-seat flexible community room, classrooms, study rooms, a dedicated children's story area, and a second floor outdoor reading terrace.
What they making? Boston Public Library?
Child, it sounds beautiful.
The one over there, the Copley? That's what it sounds like it over there.
They're going to make a mini Copley,
A grant room?
The building will be the first branch in the BPL system built to the city's fossil fuel-free standard for new municipal buildings. Wu and others noted that the BPL employees like branch librarian Kim McCleary, programs and community outreach librarian Liz Blake, and building custodian Greg Stewartson have become integral parts of the neighborhood. The library is a place where we warm up from the cold in the winter, said Jackie West Devine, executive director of the Fields Corner Main Street. It's a place where we cool off in the summer. We get to recharge ourselves, and while we do
They
that,
still the library still?
yeah, we can engage
Let's
in a
do
world-class
Dash for that,
novel,
girl.
a fresh newspaper, or even a trade magazine.
We know what we do at the
Very nice,
library.
very nice.
That's nice.
Libraries truly are for everybody.
Oh,
Oh, good. That's nice.
y'all make sure I get your library cards.
Get your
When is
library
that supposed to be
card.
made?
It's starting already.
Oh, wow. We got
This
$30
day-
million.
Uh-huh.
We got a lot of money over here in Massachusetts, huh?
Massachusetts has got dollars.
Taxachusetts.
The Peace Institute and NU class offer forums for survivors in unsolved homicides. And this is very important. We will be speaking to someone from the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute and the Mother's Day Walk for Peace tomorrow.
Quick commercial. Mother's Day Walks for Peace is this Sunday on Mother's Day. It starts at 9 o'clock.
9 a.m.
No.
No,
7
it's early.
o'clock.
7
8
o'clock.
o'clock. Everybody starts when we return by 10:30.
Okay. So this month, and it's starting off at ADSL. Fields Corner,
Townfield Park.
Townfield Park. Townfield Park. If you guys need something to do early in the morning just to kickstart your mother appreciation, join the Mother's Day Walk for Peace. Get your little steps in, walk for a cause, and then go to your little brunch time with your family and do your things. It's a full day of service and celebration. So come outside.
Come outside.
Bring your mama.
Bring your mama. And your daddy, too.
Yes, sir.
What is happening? So Clementina Sherry, president and CEO of the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute, asked Northeastern University law professor Andrew Hale and his first-year law class last fall if they could take a look into police responses to survivors' requests for information on unsolved cases involving their loved ones. After 6 months of research and interviewing survivors, law enforcement officials and legal experts, Hale and his students ascertained that the Boston Police Department's treatment of unsolved homicide cases and victims' loved ones could be improved by clarifying protocols, establishing partnerships, and re-establishing communication with survivors. They recently presented their findings to a crowded room in Northeastern's Doxer Hall with some survivors in attendance. Our goal today is to amplify the voices of survivors of unsolved homicides and to start a conversation about survivors' rights in the Boston area in a positive update, said law student Camilla Clavijo. presentation covered the history and the current state of affairs with the Boston Police Department's Unsolved Case Squad, which was established in 1991 in response to an alarming increase in homicides in the city. The students found that the squad today faces a backlog of more than 1,700 unsolved homicide cases, and that community trust in Boston's police force, particularly for Black Bostonians, has been historically low.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yep. That goes on. You can find that article in the Dorchester Reporter. Very interesting article filled with a lot of good information in there. A man named Charles Bogus pleaded guilty to Louis D. Brown's murder in 1997, but 15 years later he filed motions.
That was in 1997.
Yeah, he filed motions. Yeah.
No, that was after because that was after he was found. Yeah, so that was a lot.
That happened in 90.
Because what
94.
year is this for the Mother's Day Walk for Peace?
94.
This is going to be the 29th year.
Wow.
Yeah. 15
That's
years
crazy.
later, he filed a motion to rescind his guilty plea, claiming that he did not kill Brown and that he was induced into confessing by prosecutors. Sherry, who was reconciled with Bogus while he was in prison, found that she had questions that no one could answer after his statement. And this is a very, very interesting article. You guys go ahead and read that. Check that out in Dorchester Reporter and see what's going on in there. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I remember that.
We talked about that.
Yeah, I think we covered that.
We covered that.
I remember the video of him trying to explain what he said actually happened, and how it was whatever. I think he, by association and what they were doing, he was guilty anyways. But
that's so crazy. I remember going to the trial and seeing he was so young when that happened.
Because that's what this is around the age that all of them are so, like. This is the age that we're reading about now, like the 17s to 23s, and then you have the outliers of like 67-year-old man stabs a man in the chest.
Yeah.
Like, why are you doing that?
Right.
But these young kids is where we have the issues and want to kind of reel them in and make sure that they're not hanging out in South Bay.
Yeah,
hanging out in South Bay.
Yeah. Louis D. Brown is our cousin.
All right, with that, with that said, we're going to take a quick pause for the cause. We're going to go to a commercial break, and we'll be right back with our national news. Keep it locked right here, Spark FM Online.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
You are now listening to Spark.
This Mother's Day, Spark FM invites you to walk for peace and with a purpose. Join us Sunday, May 11th at Townfield in Dorchester for the 29th Annual Mother's Day Walk for Peace, a heartfelt fundraiser for the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute. For 29 years, the walk has united thousands across New England to support families and communities impacted by murder. The Peace Institute's programs and resources to break cycles of violence and cultivate cycles of peace. Walk with us to honor lives lost, promote healing, and invest in peace. Register and donate today at mothersdaywalkforpeace.org.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious, which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously, the best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Looking for a meaningful way to engage with your community and make a difference? Volunteer with the Massachusetts Senior Medicare Patrol Program and help prevent Medicare fraud. Visit masmp.org. This project is supported by a grant from the U.S. Administration for Community.
JP Morgan Chase is making a global commitment to break down barriers to drive inclusive economic growth all over the world. We believe there is a pressing need to help more people move up the economic ladder. That is why we are investing in communities and people to create an economy that works for all, because no community should be left behind. Right here in Boston, we're focusing that work in Dorchester, Roxbury, and Mattapan, among other neighborhoods, on improving financial health. These efforts aim to address the key drivers of the racial wealth divide head on. We're here to empower individuals, families, and small businesses by connecting them to the tools that build generational wealth and a long-lasting legacy. Chase is investing in Boston. Chase is investing in you. Visit us at the Mattapan.
Spark FM.
I know you nasty. She be touching on her own body.
Igniting the airwaves. Spark FM.
Says she wanna take me away. Says she wanna take me away. Says she wanna show me the way.
Join us on Facebook and Instagram at sparkfmonline.com.
Turn us up.
Spark FM.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
Girl, I'm in love with you. This ain't the honeymoon. Past the infatuation phase. Right in the thick of love. At times we get sick of love. It seems like we argue every day. I know I misbehaved and you made your mistakes, and we both still got room left to grow. And though love sometimes hurts, I still put you first, and we'll make this thing work. But I think we should take it slow. We're just ordinary people. We don't know which way to go, 'cause we're ordinary people. Maybe we should take it slow. Take it slow. Oh. This time we'll take it slow. Take it slow. Oh. This time we'll take it slow. This ain't a movie, no fairy tale conclusion, y'all. Every day, sometimes it's heaven sent, then we head back to hell again. Kiss, then we make up on the way.
Check, baby, 1, 2, 3, 4. Check, baby, 1, 2, 3. You see how I did that on the beat?
Oh, yeah.
I'm a rapper.
You're a rapper.
I want you guys to understand that I'm a rapper.
You're a rapstress.
Rhapsody.
A raptor.
I've been trying to understand for a few years now. Still don't get it.
It's called hating, Tristan. It's hating because if you had the type of lyrical genius that I had, then you too would be, freestyling all over Boston.
Oh my.
Somebody who is not freestyling over Boston, but is making an impact in doing the damn thing. All the things would be like, why don't Boston? Why don't Boston? Why don't Boston? She is out here. Why don't in Boston? Because it do. Welcome to the show, Nia Grace. Nia Grace is the founder and creative director of Grace by Nia, Boston, Foxwoods, and that is going under a little reconstruction right now while we focus on other things. Welcome, Nia.
Hi, how are you? Good morning.
Good morning. This has been a long time coming.
It's been a while.
Yeah. We've been wanting to talk to you for a long time because you are making history, setting trends and trailblazing all through Boston in the hospitality industry. Give us a little bit of give us a little intro.
Oh yeah, well I mean, I always like to let folks know I'm just a girl from Roxbury, so I am from the neighborhood. I've had a different, kind of career paths, but I've always come back to hospitality, and I think that's because I really enjoy creating spaces for people and like sitting back and like watching folks have a good time. So that's like my journey in a nutshell.
And we really enjoy the spaces you have created. Thank
you. When did you start? Like, when did you get your start in the hospitality industry?
I mean, my first restaurant job, I was 16 years old working as a counter girl for what is actually still there, the Purple Cactus in JP on Center Street.
Really? I love the Purple Cactus.
We used to wear Purple Cactus once a week.
If she ever listens, Marie O'Shea is the owner there, and that was my first, one of my first female bosses.
Yeah.
Who really showed me what it was like.
Yeah,
That's
a great
place. And then from there, How did you get into, just skipping a little round, how did you get into the ownership of Daryl's?
Oh, well, that comes from, I would say, maybe a decade's worth of community work. And so I was in nonprofit management for a while. And before that, I did entertainment work as well. And so I was laid off.
Like you was a promoter?
Well, I mean, I used to book talent.
Okay.
I used to represent talent, and I, in fact, used to host and produce events. So
so yeah.
I would say that, it was a promotion game as well. And so I was laid off for a job, right? And so when I was laid off, it was nonprofit. I was laid off from work. And I said, well, let me take my years of experience and invest it in myself. And I've always said, if I spent 80 to 90 hours working for somebody else, what would it look like if I put that energy into myself? And so Daryl's Corner Bar and Kitchen was one of my first independent clients. And I took them on as a contract to focus on social media marketing. And so this was a while ago, 15 years ago.
So when social media was just starting.
When I was just starting, I was in fact instructing people about how to use it for personal and business gain at Boston Neighborhood Network. And then I brought those talents to Daryl's. And so I started as a consultant, then as a manager, then as a general manager. And then I was like, well, again, I worked 90 hours a week
I'm gonna do
for
all of
someone
this.
else.
Yeah.
And I really like doing this. I said, what if I try to find a restaurant for myself? So I put that energy out there, and in fact found the perfect restaurant that I wanted, that I, wrote down exactly the details. And then, let's just fast forward a month later, Daryl said, well, if you're really looking at a restaurant, why not consider Daryl's Corner Bar and Kitchen?
I sure will.
And so, and it's like, and I'll say this, 15 years ago, I walked in there and I had not seen anything like that in Boston. And so my experience as a young adult was in Miami and in New York. And when I was doing in New York, I was at the New York weekend at a SOBs. I was in spaces like that, but I didn't know they existed in Boston. And so when I walked into Daryl's, and I had never really been to Bob the Chef's, that was a family secret that they kept from me. When I walked in, I was like, oh, it smells good, it looks good, it feels familiar. And I said, if I ever owned a space, I wanted it to be just like that.
Oh, wow.
And so then, here we go.
That's the power of manifestation, too, and just kind of thinking about stuff. So you did Daryl's Corner Bar and Kitchen for a while, and that was it's a landmark. It's a staple of Boston.
Oh, yeah.
It's synonymous Slaves. You go to Slaves, you come right up the street to Daryl's right after, too. Sometimes we've done both. I feel like hospitality has a lot to do with customer service, and I'm listening to you, social media and, event production. Will you say that all of them went into the success of making Daryl's what it was? Because it was always popping.
Yeah, no, I mean, I always say that the path that I took was exactly what I needed to run my own business. So it's more than just being in hospitality. It was really about running my own complete business. And so having the corporate experience and understanding contracts and understanding, both sides of negotiation, and then being in the community, then knowing how to relate to everybody in the community. And then even down to my education. I mean, I studied criminology and African American studies, assuming that I was going to law school and I was studying.
I'm gonna
people.
be a lawyer.
but I needed to actually have that foundational study of people to understand what makes them react. And literally, that goes into you looking at a menu and my science behind how I'm placing that menu out and how you're going to react to it.
I was going to say that because I feel like, in speaking about, Daryl's and how you made that space, I think that everything in Daryl's was very well curated. The drinks were phenomenal there. The food was very, very good.
All the bartenders.
Yeah. Even, the talent that was in there, the brunches and the events that you had there, I think everything was well curated, which is, I don't know if I'm fast forwarding too much, but then we go into this new area and this new space, which is Grace by Nia, which is amazing, and it must be world renowned
and
now.
That's so crazy because everybody knows you from Daryl's. So then when we heard of Grace by Nia, we were like, oh shoot,
yeah.
Oh, we going to Seaport.
And
then seeing and experiencing and seeing how you pretty much doubled down on what was happening at Daryl's and made it into luxury, and comfort at the Seaport. Tell us about that journey.
Yeah, I mean, I like to say that Grace by Nia is the big sister to
Yeah.
Daryl's,
Yeah.
you know, and it's always been my vision. Like I think I have a very old soul, right?
Yeah.
And so very, very, very vintage kind of spirit. But I love the Renaissance period,
Yeah.
right? I loved the era where all you could see is our cultural excellence
Yeah.
in every single space.
Met Gala.
you know,
Met Gala.
okay. Listen, and I can appreciate, you know, watching my aunts and my mom and them get dressed up on a Friday and Saturday night
Yeah.
and having this place to go out to. And
Yeah.
so while we've had all these different spaces in Boston, you know, having Grace by Nia for me was that just next level. So you
Yeah.
can have all of it, but you
Yeah.
can also have the best, you know, surroundings and still be in your most comfortable way. But I just thought we just deserve that too.
Yeah.
Why not? We've
Yeah.
got so many spaces, we deserve it all.
How do you feel about it? Like, you know, like,
feel
and
about
then you expanded into Foxwoods,
yeah.
where, you know, like you are able to continue. Like, I always think about the business owner in general and like personal, because people look at you and they might, you know, put you up here and you're like you said, I'm just a girl from Roxbury. What's that like, being just a girl from Roxbury to now being propelled into this world where you're looked at as somebody that other, you know, restaurateurs want to look up to and stuff? Like, what's that feel like for you?
I mean, it feels good. Some days it's surreal, but at most, I really just want people to know that I'm approachable.
Yeah.
That I'm somebody that it doesn't really matter, you know, the things that we can attain. It doesn't matter the places that we go. My roots are here. My family's here.
Yeah.
Like, everyone is in Roxbury, Dorchester area. Like, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I still might have to sit at the kids' table. If my eldest tell me so.
My aunties still don't respect me, damn it.
Like, I'm almost 50 years old.
Right. So with all that said, you know, it's a joy, but also I understand that it's a large responsibility. And
Yeah.
so we always talk about, you know, when you get placed on that platform, you know, I mean, a lot of my elders have already let me know this, that I can't mess it up, right?
Yeah.
And I love their frankness
Pressure.
about it. They're like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, so don't mess it up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I love the younger folks who kind of give me some grace. And so, you know, it's good. No pun intended.
And you've got a great support system, right?
Yeah.
You've got a good team that
Yeah.
you've been working with throughout the years.
It's
for all
multiple sides of, you know, the support system, you know what I mean? So my team from Daryl's, historically, I had hired a lot of them before I actually, you know, owned the business.
Yeah.
And so they are always like kind of in my corner, but my familial team, you know, so
Yeah.
between my husband, my brother who works with me as well, like they are phenomenal. And
Yeah.
then as we get into the Grace by Nia space, I've had some amazing partners. And
Yeah.
so Ed Kane and Randy Greenstein, like,
Shout out to Ed Gang.
shout out to my boy Eddie Kane. Don't tell him I said that. But you know, the Big Night team, it's growth and it's greatness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, and I'm just ready for it. And then outside of that, you know, sisters like y'all, brothers like you, like it's that head nod that you need in spaces that are unfamiliar to us sometimes.
Yeah.
That also keeps you like, yeah, we supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Right, and I'm listening to you, and what I'm hearing from you is that a good part of your success too is attributed to just your connections and you're being personable and you're being approachable, like how you mentioned. Because I think that people are like, oh, we can't talk to her, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's me. You know what I mean? And making the connections, and even the connection with you and Daryl, and how that, you know, like really led to you, you know, doing what you're doing. So how did we get to Foxwoods?
Well, how do we get to Foxwoods? I mean, you know, it's about opportunity. So you just have to take it in the moment. And I'll actually go to Daryl's first.
Yeah.
I literally was looking at another deal. I had a, you know, different neighborhood, again, a place that I thought was exactly what I wanted because I said that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
And then his opportunity came up, and it was, you know, we were having a conversation at a social event.
Yeah.
Right. And so it was about, well, Nia, you got to make a snap decision. Most of the times in business and when you are growing, you don't really have time to think about it for a day. You don't really have time to sometimes think about for a week. You have to be like very convicted and sure of yourself, even if you don't, even if you're not. Right.
Yep.
So I say that is kind of the same thing with Foxwoods. It was just a really great opportunity. My partners have had let's say, I think it's about an 8 or 10 year existence there already with different facilities. And so we just had an opportunity to reinvent some space, and the tribe was so welcoming, and the entire Foxwoods team was so welcoming, and there is nothing like it there. And I think that's what we keep saying about Grace by Nia in Boston and other places. There's just nothing like it.
Because I'm trying to go through my mental Rolodex right now, and it is not. Like, I think maybe the closest to it would be Scullers.
Yeah.
In
Scullers, yeah.
And what? And you can't eat there. You know, like
there's no food.
You can.
You can.
Food.
There's like at the hotel part.
Yeah.
Do you get it inside the theater? I don't
Yeah.
think,
There's
okay.
Yep.
But I think that's the closest thing, and for a lot of us, you know, that's a little bit unattainable. Nothing wrong with it because it's still there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love it there. You know, it's a nice little sneaky spot to go take somebody to.
There's nothing like it. Let me be very clear, right?
Nothing like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, but I will say shout out to Scullers and City Winery and even the old Regatta Bar and Riles, like all those places in the Beehive, right? You know what I mean? So all those places that try to give you a different experience where you could dine in music or have the music be the feature. That's fine.
But
and
it's not.
It's just not
It's
that.
still not that.
Yeah. Let me be clear.
The whole environment and the atmosphere, the ambiance, and all of that of Grace by Nia. Like, even if you don't go there, the first time we went there, we didn't eat. And we just had drinks, and it was just like to be in this space with this decor, the feeling of being in there at the Seaport, like having these amazing drinks. We had what were we drinking? Old fashioned.
I was gonna say
it was really, you know, like upscale, different.
Also to that, how does it feel to be a pioneer of the new Black Renaissance in Boston? And do you feel that there's so many new Black business owners that's out there?
Yeah, I think that I appreciate the nod to being, yes, right, this pioneer for this wave right here. But again, I won't, I would be remiss if I didn't shout out the Poindexter and Walcott family from Wally's, right? I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about, you know, Daryl Settles still. He operated Bob the Chefs and then Bob Southern Jazz Bistro for 27 years, right? And then, you know, we even got Eddie, who had the first Black-owned lounge fully, Eddie Furman from Savor, you know, down, and that's been 12 years. And so what I'll say is that I've had some,
to Eddie.
Yeah, I mean, I've had some good people who before me, you know, showed persistence and resistance, and then all I could do was continue that on, and so it feels good. If
they
that's
walk
a short
so you
answer.
can run.
But there's a lot of challenges as well as a lot of things to still be done.
Right, and especially being a Black
I was
woman.
about to say that.
What are the challenges there?
That?
How's that for you?
Yeah, I mean, well, one, our industry, hospitality specifically, is not welcoming of women in all roles. You know what I mean? So if you see us, you would typically see us at a host stand first, right? And if you maybe see us as a manager, that was just to soften some things over, but you necessarily wouldn't see us in a general manager role, right? And then when we get into ownership, it's because we had to do it, you know, on our own because no one else would allow us to matriculate up. So I see those things, but I don't care. What I've had to do is, and I don't like this, but people talk about women who have to kind of embody a masculine energy. Yeah. And I don't want to say I embody a masculine energy, but I don't take no you know. I think
you were firm.
Firm but fair.
Firm and fair.
And I'm always firm and fair. I've got some friends who said that too. So that's really what it is. Yeah. And then really just walking into Rome and saying I belong and actually believing it is the thing that I have to do every single day.
So how do you? What's the key to doing that? Because Black women also face a lot of imposter syndrome where not even if we want to, we're just like, oh, am I ready to be in this room sometimes? Or, oh, I don't belong here. How have you allowed yourself, or what have you done for yourself to make you, you know, confident and walk in those rooms with that type of confidence?
I would just say that the recipe for everyone to have that confidence is going to be different, right? Some people say that maybe I'm a little too humble, but I have to kind of keep my head down, and I say, keep my head down and stay firing, right? Like I'm always only going to be as good as the last thing that I just completed. But when I walk into a room, I think I'm always supported by the affirmations of being invited to the room in the first place. Right? I'm always supported by, you know, the community that galvanizes around me like this. And then when I get in the room, sometimes you're like, oh, this is who's in the room.
I see these people all the time.
I'm supposed to be here too, then, right? You know, and that's where it kind of like really shines, where you were sitting here having a whole lot of self-doubt, and you realize that the words that you have, the experience that you have is impactful, is something that people can learn from. You just grow that little bit of confidence every day. It's no magic, but
I like that.
Awesome. Exclusive. Not exclusive, but what's happening with Daryl's now? Can you talk about it?
Yeah, no. So to know anything about me is that you won't hear about it until it's done, and that's just how I like to keep it. But Daryl's is my first love, like in terms of my business, right? You know, I've got so many stories that I can go through. This year will make year number 7 that I've been in full time restaurant ownership.
Yeah.
And so getting it back online is
7 years. Yeah, that's
right?
big.
This is the itch. This is the time where it's like, but getting it back online is going to be very special for me. And, I'm going to do like my predecessors did, really embody it and make it my own.
Yeah.
And something that I think I've cherished the fact that I've had customers, like faithful customers at Daryl's that were 17 to 77.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
And so with that, I'm trying to make sure that the next set of folks, us, who if we want to be partying there or dining there until we 77, it fits us.
Absolutely. Yeah.
At one point we was at Daryl's like every week.
them peach wings. I would like that.
Yeah. I know. Some folks, they've got their requests. Y'all can let me know what y'all requests are on the menu, but the menu won't be the same. But again, it'll be about us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
As we move into just all the great things that you have done, there has been, how do you guys rent a restaurant tour?
I'm just Nia from
How do you guys? We've been seeing a lot of things about different restaurants in Boston. Upcoming restaurants. Shout out to the Mix, who deal with a lot of negativity and a lot of things like that. And I know that Grace by Nia has as well too. Because I remember a comment the other day. He was like, "Girl, you wouldn't imagine." How do you guys deal with that mentally on a level where you know that you're putting in everything you can, everything as a business owner? I take this personally too. You're doing everything that you can to do something different, to do something amazing, to whatever. I know you can't always please everybody, but those negative situations do affect us in some type of way. How do you deal with it, and how do you walk around it to stay positive?
Well, I'll say this: as creatives, we are sensitive, right? And like when Erica said that, she meant that, right? And that's really how we are. So the first thing is we have to really remove the emotion from the business part of it, right? Because we're nothing without our customers, we're nothing without our listeners in this space. And so how I deal with any kind of feedback is that I realize it's an opportunity to learn something, right?
Like how you switch that from feedback. Switch it to feedback.
No, feedback is feedback. It is what it is. And so it's an opportunity to learn something. Now, in learning something, I might learn a new way that a customer feels about it and realize that that's something that resonates between more than just that customer.
Okay.
I might learn something about my team in that. I might learn something about my delivery service model. And sometimes I learn that some people don't want to be happy. And I'm cool with that
Say
too.
that,
So I tell that to my team often, like when I'm training, I'm like, listen, we're going to do everything we can to make folks happy. But then you're going to learn at some point, some folks don't want to be happy. And that's all right too. That's something I'm fine with. But I take it. I don't get defensive about it. I really always try to think about it very critically and quickly and figure out, is this something that I can change? Is it something I can affect? Or is this just going to have to be what it is? And I may not be the venue for you.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
It might not be someplace that you should come to. If it don't make you happy, don't come here.
That acceptance is real.
Every night is not the night that somebody wants to be in any of my spaces, to be fair, right? So between whatever the talent is, the day of the week, whatever the audience is. And so I'm fine with that too. I didn't create the space just for one body. You know what I mean? And so at the end of the day, when you see over 2,000 people in a space, and not everyone can do that. So that's what I also sit there and I say.
That's true.
If you could do
Very
that.
true. Very true.
Yeah.
I wanted to read some of the comments because they're really awesome. Go up a little bit more. Yo, she ain't this one. Pam. Pam said, "I love to. I would. I have to give Nia her flowers. Thanks for the mentorship opportunity and teaching me while you didn't know you were teaching me. Congratulations to you." Pam. Fresh Jan says she ain't just a girl from Roxbury. She is Nia Grace. What the hell? Fresh Jan's a problem all the time. Catherine Ford says, "Love the wings and the dirty." Denise would celebrate special occasions at Daryl's, but now you could do it at Grace by Nia while you have it. And then Natalie says, appreciate what you're doing in the industry in Seaport at that. So, like that was a big deal. Like we're going to a place that historically has not necessarily been as welcoming to Black folks as we would like. And you kicked in the door waving the 4-4 with this beautiful very impeccably decorated and curated
Yeah,
space. We didn't even talk about that, did we?
Well, Malika says it. She said Grace by Nia
Yeah.
interior is gorgeous and the decor is top tier. No, I mentioned
I
it,
remember
'cause you can't
reporting
not
on
mention
it when it first happened and seeing like the
Yeah.
articles of the inside look, and we were like,
Wow.
"Yo,
Yeah, yeah.
that is
Thank you.
beautiful!"
Thank
like
you.
that is absolutely a
And we know that
beautiful,
you
stunning
had your
place.
hand in that. 'Cause I feel like
That's a woman's touch there. You got to know what you feel. Catherine says, qualities of a great manager, firm and friendly. Congratulations. It's great to see someone who looks like us building her brand. And I do hope, I know that you know that, but I do hope that you know that, you know, entrepreneurs that are just starting or just, you know, kind of coming up, we are looking at you like, if Nia could be in the seaport, we are fine right here in Mattapan. Relax. I got to tell myself that all the time. And now you're in Foxwoods,
Yep.
and you're doing all these great things. Do you feel like a role model? It is
right.
what it
Yeah,
is.
I mean, as soon as someone is looking at you, you realize that you are setting, you are showing them something.
Yeah.
And so assuming the role, yes, I
Yeah.
understand that, and I've accepted the role.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
And any last minute words of advice that you would give to, I always hate this question, that you would give to upcoming people in the hospitality industry or startup businesses in general? Like what would you say to them that keep them grounded?
Yeah, I would say two things, maybe three, but for sure you don't know what you don't know, right? And that's okay. And sometimes you have to experience it, but then to that point, you need to find somebody who does know.
Yeah.
And there should be no shame in asking for help. And then there's one of my mentors told me that the poor man always pays twice, right? And so to me, what that says is, you know, you could not, and it's not necessarily about dollar amounts, right? But it's really about the information, right? If you are not rich with resources, or you are not rich with data points or someone to advise, you might end up making mistakes that are going to cost you in the long run. And so if you have somebody who's available, who has done it before you, has even ventured out, even if it was only for a year or two, give them a call, send them an email, reach out to them so that you're not sitting there making mistakes that could cost you twice.
I love that.
You know?
I love that.
Don't do it.
So
Don't.
true.
Yeah. Find somebody who knows. Once you learn the lesson, don't learn it again.
You might need to learn a lesson more than once.
Yeah, no, seriously.
That sounds just like spend the money first too, instead of going the cheap way.
That part too.
Yeah, that is true. Go do it all one time
Yeah.
and then settle down. Nia, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you. Just
definitely.
listening to you has set my day off
Yeah.
good because, you know, maybe I might have a little pep in my step today. I can do this.
You may have to expand your career into teaching and speaking because your
Yeah.
voice is very, very soothing.
Oh, very
and it's very, very good to listen to.
to do a little fireside chat.
You're gonna have to do some things.
But you guys can find where you have a couple of things coming up. You have anniversaries coming up. You're celebrating.
Yeah, I mean, Grace by Nia in the Seaport is celebrating its second year this month. We are celebrating our first year in Foxwoods. Everything is gracebynea.com or gracebynea.foxwoods.com.
Wow.
I'll be speaking at the National Food Show, which is one of the largest conventions in the nation, next week in Chicago. And so while you're talking about, you know, doing more speaking, you know, shout out to the Shy. But excited about that too.
Good. That's
So.
awesome. Great for you, Nia. Congratulations.
Boots on the ground.
I am proud of you.
Me too. You are doing good. One more. Risa said, "Thank you for bringing classy back to nightlife.
Yes.
Music is great there too. That's absolutely
Harlem Nights meets the Boom Boom Room.
Right, you better come. You better
We
come
are
through. Matter of fact,
dead.
tonight is Wednesday. Again, we're kicking off our anniversary month. Tonight is Wednesday. Shout out to John Borders, who hosts our Let It Flow. So if you sing and if you play, or if you want to be in the Boom Boom Room tonight, that's where we'll be.
And that's so good for like this week. I think
Yeah.
that a lot of us are probably, a lot of Black people who recognize whatever, the arts and all of those things are still on this high from the Met Gala because I know that I am.
Yeah.
And to just be in that space.
Wanna go
coming
get
off
Come
dressed
the-
get
up.
dandy,
Yeah.
girl. Come get dandy.
Come here, dandy.
Ooh,
Put a hat on.
you might have to do a little something.
I love it. I love
I
it.
know, Nia. You might do a little dandy party in
I'm
there.
trying to tell you that's dope.
Yeah, have you thought about
Coming soon to Grace by Nia.
Have you thought about curating events for like Grace by Nia like events?
Yeah, I mean, we do. We do
Yeah.
some special things coming up. We've got, you know, I like to figure out the things that are kind of obscure and then bring it, right? And so I'm also down for collaboration. So if you're thinking about something, let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Collaborate. With that said, people, we're gonna take a quick commercial break because we gotta pay some village. Keep the lights on, and when we come back, we will be getting into our national and world news. So keep it locked right here. Follow Nia Grace on across all platforms. Grace by Nia Foxwood. I can never get it right. Foxwood.
Just go on gracebania.com.
Yes, there you go. Just go there, and you can find the connection to everything else. We'll also be posting it and everything on our socials. So thank you so much, Nia, for all that you do. Here, flowers. And we'll see you probably later.
Okay. Yes. All right.
Spark FM Online, Saucy and Friends in the Morning. We'll be right back. Keep it locked right here.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the Morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
You are now listening to Spark.
My name is Ariel. I moved to the U.S. at 19. I spoke no English and I struggled finding job opportunities. Everything I have, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and getting my high school diploma at age 22.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the ad.
This Mother's Day, Spark FM invites you to walk for peace and with a purpose. Join us Sunday, May 11th at Townfield in Dorchester for the 29th Annual Mother's Day Walk for Peace, a heartfelt fundraiser for the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute. For 29 years, the walk has united thousands across New England to support families and communities impacted by murder. The Peace Institute's programs and resources to break cycles of violence and cultivate cycles of peace. Walk with us to honor lives lost, promote healing, and invest in peace. Register and donate today at mothersdaywalkforpeace.org.
Prioritize your mental well-being with Kuji Jakalia Wellness Center, a Black woman-owned therapy practice committed to culturally affirming care that understands you. Our licensed therapists specialize in personalized care, offering virtual sessions Monday through Friday by appointment because your healing should fit your schedule.
At Kuji Wellness, we embrace the principle of Kuji Jakalia, meaning self-determination, the power to define, create, and speak for ourselves. Your healing journey is yours to own, and we're here to support you every step of the way. We also offer individual, child, couple, and family therapy, helping families connect, heal, and thrive together.
Visit us at kujiwellness.com and book your appointment, because when you heal, the community heals too.
Finally Home is a must-read, step-by-step guide that will equip any first-time home buyer with the knowledge they need to confidently make informed decisions. This book provides answers in simple and clear terms to most, if not all, of the questions you may have about credit, home ownership, and generational wealth. Finally Home equips the reader with the confidence to be engaged with the home buying process without feeling vulnerable or exploited. Tailor-Made Real Estate Easy is not just a catchy hashtag. It is real estate agent and radio personality Taylor Andre's goal. A goal to simplify one of the most challenging processes you will go through as an adult. A goal to educate you properly on credit and teach you the strategies to finding the home of your dream. It is not just a good book or an easy read. It is the secret to a seamless home buying experience.
Often I hear people talking about how high their electricity bills are. Massachusetts has programs that everyday homeowners pay for, but never look into. Have you ever considered why some homes have panels and others don't? If you have Eversource, National Grid, or Unitil for electricity, you are paying for your neighbors to get panels at no cost. The charges are on the bill. Why not get someone to pay for yours? This program also helps with re-roofing, tree cutting, and electrical upgrades. If you're tired of short-term solutions for a long-term problem, connect with Bakari to find out if your home meets the requirements to upgrade at no cost out of pocket. Save the planet, future-proof your family for power outages, and save tens of thousands of dollars on an otherwise lifelong bill. Mention Spark when you call or text SPARK to 617-833-8940 to get 2 months off your power bill covered if your home gets...
Boston's new home for urban Caribbean music. Spark FM. Spark FM. Playing all your favorite hits from reggae. Spark FM.
If you know my swing where you are gonna see a million. We got the Congo long just like the Amazon.
Spark FM.
I know that life is not easy.
know say we are for win, yeah. Walk with the camera like Jesus.
Soca. Hip hop.
Yeah, we on and we going crazy.
R&B.
You could do damage. You could do damage.
Afrobeats and much more. Spark FM. Spark FM.
Boston's uncrowned champion, Rockstone Triz. Rockstone Triz.
Rockstone Triz.
Spark FM. Online. You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
Vital Rhythms International.
You know a lot of them people you want to dance and can't dance. You want me to take them to basic? Alright. Dirt box. Dirt box.
Hey.
Do the box. Dirt box.
Hey.
Dirt box. Dirt box. Do the box.
Alright.
Dirt box.
Alright, no.
Do the box.
Alright, no.
Dirt box.
Everybody, stop. Alright, go.
Let go the bird.
Let go the bird.
Let go the bird. Let go the bird. Let go the bird. Let go the bird. Let go the bird.
The bird want to fly away.
Let go the bird.
Let go the bird.
This is me flying away. I like that. Let go the bird. I like that kind of instructions. Like what? How do I do that?
Let go the bird. Let go the bird.
Okay.
Like when you let the doves go.
Let the birds, yes, let them up in the sky. It's time for our national and world news. Let's get into it. This is deadline day for the Real ID. Will travelers be met with airport delays? Y'all got to get your real. When they say it's the deadline day, what that mean?
That's it. That's the last day.
It's not the last day that you can get it,
You're
though.
supposed to have it by today in order to travel.
Oh, just in order to travel. So if
Yeah.
I'm not traveling, I'm not in no priority
No.
needs.
No.
Okay. After 2 decades marked by delays, Americans planning to board an airplane for a domestic flight Wednesday will need a real ID. Well, sort of. What appears to be a soft launch of the program aimed at enhancing security at airports nationwide began at midnight amid questions about how the new requirements and lack of compliance by travelers in many states will affect air travel. Homeland Security Kristi Noem, who should be whatever, told lawmakers Tuesday that travelers without the real ID cards will still be able to board their flights for now after undergoing additional identity verification steps at the airport security checkpoints. If people show up without a real ID at the airport security, they may be diverted to a different line where an extra step, but people will still be allowed to fly, Noem told a House Appropriations Subcommittee on Tuesday. We recognize this is a security issue. As he's pulling up the clip, here we go. Give us 2 little seconds.
Nobody understands what it is because they still don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Why is it? Why is it such a big deal?
The real ID?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still confused, Ed.
Starting today, a state-issued driver's license will no longer meet federal standards for travelers who are seeking to fly domestically. You are going to need a real ID or some other approved form of ID like a passport. To apply for a real ID, you must go to the DMV with several documents. You have to provide your social security number, give proof of identity, and 2 documents showing California residency. If you don't have a real ID or any valid form of ID at the airport, you can still board your flight today. However, you are going to be subject to additional screening. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem spoke yesterday on Capitol Hill.
Oh, God.
Folks will come through the line and they will be issued their
like such a
ID and
bimbo.
show it. If it's not compliant, they may be diverted to a different line, have an extra step,
she's
but
the
people
son's
will be allowed to
ex-girlfriend, right?
fly.
Jared
Other acceptable forms of ID at the airport include U.S. or foreign passports, a
Don
U.S.
Jr.
Department of
She's
Defense
Don Jr.'s
ID,
ex-girlfriend.
or a permanent resident card.
Is there a Jared?
No.
Why I'm always calling one a Jared?
I don't know.
Because it clearly is Don
Jr. and Eric.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why. Well, Don Jr. I call Jared. To hell with it. Yeah. So, okay. So if I'm traveling domestically, I must have this real ID and or extra identification in order to fly.
you just need a real ID.
No, I'm talking. Oh, so if I have a regular ID.
If you have a regular ID, then you need to have something else.
And then, okay, so that doesn't. So a deadline means what in this situation again? Because I don't
as of
have
today,
to
you're
have
supposed
it.
to have it. You're supposed to have it to travel as of today.
But if you don't, you can still get it later.
You can still get it later.
You just can't get on a plane with that.
Right.
Yeah.
With your
So I
regular
don't. Yeah,
ID.
I don't get it at all. Then, like,
Yeah.
if I can still fly regularly, I just have to bring my passport and my ID.
And what is the difference? It just has the star on it?
Yeah, it has. It's. I guess it's. You have already presented your extra ID to make sure that you are who you are, even though it's not as rigorous as me getting a passport with my thumbprints and my facial structure and my life. So I don't know. I don't get it.
Do we do thumbprints for passports?
No. Why wouldn't? What? Don't you have to do? Do you have to do it when you first go to the post office and do it, like on that?
Oh,
first
Jared is
application?
Ivanka's husband.
Oh, thank you. I knew there was somebody named Jared.
And Barron is the younger one.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't understand. I don't get
Neither.
it. But I mean, they said that I didn't have to get mine until my birthday came, which it's expiring this year. So I have to get a whatever. She was like, "You can just wait. I mean, whatever." So yeah, that's
I mean, you have a valid passport.
Yeah.
So you're good.
I ain't worried about that. I'm American.
Ain't that what the old ID is for? I don't get what the.
So wait, if I have a real ID, do I need? I still need my passport to travel internationally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The real ID is for domestic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is stupid. Yeah. Like it's just kind of dumb. And with this deadline, I'm assuming that moving forward, they will not be making anything but a real ID.
I hope
correct?
not, because that would make sense. I don't know why they didn't stop making regular IDs when they knew that this Real ID thing was coming, because it's been pushed back a lot, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know why they were still handing out regular IDs.
It does, because that just doesn't make, that's not a smart thing. That seems like a lot of waste of money. So before, because during COVID is when it first started, I think, right? The Real ID, like 4 years ago or
Rochelle
something
said
like
it started with the 9/11 attacks.
Really?
I don't know about that.
I feel like we just started hearing about it around COVID-ish time when a
Yeah.
lot of people were trying to go to the RMV to get these Real IDs and stuff like that. At that point, they should have just stopped making anything but a Real ID.
Yeah.
Don't give anybody anything else but Real IDs. And why isn't my regular ID a Real ID?
Why is mine real?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
you've
love
been
y'all,
at a
but
real
can we
one.
go to the next story?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I was there.
So it has the star on it.
Yeah, at the top.
All right.
Do it say Real ID? Where's
No, it says USA with a little star.
So businesses have found strange but legal ways to avoid Trump's tariffs. I saw a video today of this woman saying that she has a warehouse that is not in America, and to ship her stuff for her company in America, it would be extra $230,000 just to bring her stuff here.
There was an article today about this woman who has designed some clothes for Ivanka Trump. And she said that because of the tariffs, she's going to end up spending an extra $600,000 this year. She doesn't think that she's going to be able, her business is going to be able to survive through Christmas.
Is she not charging Ivanka?
Melania.
Whatever one.
Melania.
She's not going to charge her?
Yeah,
she got mad
she
money.
can't afford to bring the things to charge her.
She can. You tell Melania, this is how much it costs to bring the things to make your clothes. This is what you're gonna pay. She shouldn't even worry about that. You are making clothes for Melania.
Your husband.
Exactly. You and your husband got to pay me for the clothes that you want to have. I'm not going to, my business should thrive right now because I'm going to make extra off of you paying for the taxes in which your husband implied.
Yeah.
She got to get tough.
Rochelle said the idea started around that time of the 9/11 attacks, after the 9/11 attacks, and took forever for it to get approved by Congress.
What's that? The Real ID. Oh, a few months ago, the words bonded warehouse and harmonized system codes might not have been on the minds of many American business owners. Now they're in a massive spotlight after President Donald Trump slapped a whopping 145% minimum tariffs on most goods coming from China, 25% tariffs on cars and auto parts, aluminum and steel, and a 10% tariff on almost every country's imports. U.S. businesses are desperate for ways to lower their import costs. Two popular and legal strategies involve those bonded warehouse to defer tariffs and harmonized systems codes to qualify for lower rates. Tariff engineering. There are over 5,000 different product classification codes that governments across the globe use when assessing tariffs. Consumers don't care whether the imported cost they're wearing was officially classified as a windbreaker or a raincoat. But for businesses, that distinction can be the difference between lower and higher tariff rates and potentially turning a profit or not. And to qualify for the lower rate, all the manufacturer would have to do is tinker with the product's materials, otherwise known as tariff engineering.
Make it cheaper.
For
Time for our money lead,
instance,
and
go
we're
ahead.
gonna
Yes.
continue our series talking to small business owners all over the
Oh, that's not it.
Yeah, that's it. This is the business owners talking on
coast
the
to
impact.
coast about Trump's tariffs. Some have been optimistic, many are not. My next guest is Kara Rank. She owns two businesses in Jackson, Wyoming, stationery company XOYO and an event rental business. Am I pronouncing this correctly? Objet West? Is it
Correct.
Objet West. That's very fancy for Wyoming. Which products that you either sell, rent, or use to run your businesses have been impacted by Trump's tariffs?
Almost everything. So on the rental side, I buy very high-end plates, cutlery, and glassware mostly from the EU. And all of my shipments for 2025 are coming in the next 4 weeks. So I'm going to be paying tariffs on all of those. Plus, on the stationery side, almost all of my paper is going to be having price increases.
So you help to put on weddings for your event planning business, huge part of what you do. That industry as a whole was obviously certainly negatively impacted in 2020 and 2021 during the COVID pandemic. How much do you expect tariffs will disrupt weddings and event planning this time?
I mean, I know you're getting this answer from everyone. It is so hard to say. I've talked to my colleagues, especially in the event rental business. All of us plan our purchases to come in right before the season starts. So everyone's receiving inventory, in the next 4 to 6 weeks. Like,
yeah. I think life as a whole is going to be affected by all of this.
So in this actual, not necessarily with the business, so they are figuring out ways to change the tariff code. So in reading this article, basically what they're doing, for instance, Converse signature all-star sneakers have a sole that contains felt as opposed to fully rubber one traditionally seen in sneakers. So instead of writing that they have rubber, they just use the felt part, which goes as house slippers. And certain products have a cheaper tariff rate, so they're able to engineer their tariff code in order to avoid the tariffs. And they're saying that Trump has, pretty quietly put some stoppage on some things that are tariffed. Like, I don't know, like this light here. He might have said, oh, the lights can get through. So they're kind of changing products to mean lights instead of,
switching out
something else.
That,
So I think
why they had to say that?
Huh?
Why they have to say it?
Well,
I mean, they're not gonna.
They're
not gonna change it too much. But like if it contains something, then you can just kind of not put everything that it's in it. No, I don't think they're changing the quality. I think they're just omitting that there's rubber versus felt. So these sneakers are felt sneakers. They're not rubber sneakers. They're slippers, so they don't have to change anything or whatever their
like
product.
What the people doing with the DEI?
Yeah, DEI, making it global acceptance
Instead
program.
of DEI, it's IED.
Yeah,
they're just saying yes, massa.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
So they're pretty much saying that people have to kind of start getting a little bit smart and figuring out how to play around with these codes. And there is a lot of footwear companies and stuff that have banded together to send a letter to Trump asking him to, exempt them from certain things. And I think that's crazy.
The sneaker world is in it.
Yes, Rochelle, we are still at 145%. But when I was just reading this, there's an initial 25% tariffs regardless. But if it contains some of these other things, that's when you have to pay the other 120% or something like that. So I was like, yo, this is crazy. That's crazy to have a product business right now. Man, crazy.
To have a business.
Businesses have found profound, mysterious conclave to pick new pope begins. I was watching this on the news yesterday. This is so cool. How do they do this?
Why is it taking?
So basically, they all convene in a room. All the popes from all around the world, they convene in the room.
The cardinals.
They convene in a room and they go to this place. And they got to vote up to 4 times a day on who they want to be the next pope. So they were like, it's not necessarily like the election where whatever. Everybody has to pretty much agree and be happy about it. They can't be like, one side picks this one and other side picks this one. They all have to pretty much agree that this person is the person that they want.
Like
all
jury.
of them.
So like a jury.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yep. This person is the one that we want. This one.
Yeah.
And we all agree, and we're all happy with our decision.
And we gotta vote 4 times a day?
They get to vote up to 4 times a day until they all agree.
Okay.
So over 130 elector cardinals from around the globe were gathering in the Sistine Chapel on Wednesday to vote for the successor to Pope Francis, a secretive process expected to take multiple days that will result in new leadership for the world's 1.4 billion Roman Catholics. They were giving us the the forerunners, like the people who they say is gonna. We did talk about there are two black men, from one from Africa and one from I'm not sure, but I think that the cool thing is that they go all over the world. It doesn't matter where these people come from. It doesn't matter where they were born, how they were born, nothing about it. There's one that they're saying that is kind of like very, very similar to Pope Francis, and he's leading the charge right now. But they were like, just like his humbleness and just everything about him is just very, they call him the Francis of, I forget where he's from, but
It's also
cool.
important to note that Pope Francis handpicked all of those cardinals.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he picked them.
So is the cardinal process like a little baby version of picking the Pope?
Yeah, they
for each region,
and
there's one cardinal in each. What? How do you where do they come from?
That I don't know.
One thing that was cool was that there has never been an American
Parish. Is it a parish?
I don't know.
I don't know.
There have never been an American Pope.
Oh, really?
They are looking at two, but they're not in whatever. I just learned all this yesterday by watching an interesting program.
I don't think it's American Pope. I feel like that's. I don't like that.
You don't like that?
I don't think that's gonna fly over well.
But they have started to meet and they have closed the doors, so nobody knows how it actually works. It is very secret, very sacred, and very awesome
until we see the smoke.
Bless those people.
Oh, what's the smoke when they
that's
pick
when they
die.
who they pick.
Oh,
Shut up.
But they do that when he died too. They do that when he died too.
No.
Yes. When they die, they put the smoke out too.
I don't think so. But when they make a pick, they blow the smoke, and then that's how we know that they've picked a new one.
One of the stories that has rocked the nation right now, if you guys haven't seen it, it's a viral video of this black man walking the line of these cops, and he's looking in their face, and he's like,
when he died, it's black smoke.
Oh, black smoke.
Oh,
when they get picked, it's white smoke.
White smoke.
Oh, that's nice. That's beautiful. That's symbolism.
Yeah.
So what we know about the killings of a Cincinnati deputy and an 18-year-old who was shot by police. I'm just gonna summarize it. So the city of Cincinnati is looking for answers after two high-profile killings of on consecutive days. Let's go to this clip, which kind of explains it a little bit more to me.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody. Hold on.
During a graduation, the defendant driver identified as
1 second.
He was fatally struck by a car while directing traffic during a graduation. The defendant driver, identified as Rodney Hinton Jr., was arrested on a charge of aggravated murder. Police say it appears from witnesses that he deliberately struck the deputy. Hinton Jr. is the father of 18-year-old Ryan Hinton, who was shot and killed by Cincinnati police on Thursday morning, says Cincinnati's police chief. Police say Hinton Jr.'s son was armed and fleeing from a stolen vehicle when a responding officer fatally shot him.
Go.
Get down. In police body cam footage, it is unclear whether the gun was pointed at officers. A handgun recovered with an extended clip police say the 18-year-old was carrying. The police chief said the gun had not been fired, and the shooting remains under investigation by the department's homicide unit. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine condemned the Hamilton County deputy's killing, writing on X, quote, "I have been briefed on the ongoing investigation and am sickened by what appears to be an intentional act of violence." The Cincinnati Police Department is leading the investigation into the deputy's death. A judge has ordered the driver be held without bond until a hearing next week. Authorities have not said whether the suspect has any connection.
I have a question. The deputy that was killed by the father is not the one that shot the child.
So even before that, so after this shooting,
that was a question.
No, I know. Just for background, after this shooting, they shot his son the first day, and then the next day, because I don't think the next day the man killed an officer. It was not the same officer that killed his son. They said that he had went to the court and they showed him the body cam of them killing his son. He left after that, distraught, completely like sick in the head, wasn't just there. That's what the article said. He got in his car to leave. He accelerated towards an officer that was just standing outside of his vehicle, and he killed the officer. So that's just the background. So then your question was, did he kill the officer that killed his son? No. I think that in his craze of seeing his son getting shot, went crazy and decided to kill the first thing that he saw that resembled what took his son away. So there's a big controversy on everywhere right now, because we do have a history of police killing, youth, especially black youth at that. in this thing, it's a little bit weird because the boy did have a gun. It was not expelled. They don't know if he was pointing it at the officer. He was running away from the situation.
I mean, but
and
even
they
the
shot him
governor
up.
said that he's condemning them for that killing.
I never understand why you would shoot somebody in the back that was running away from you.
Yeah.
I don't get what the problem, what that is. You just need to have another opportunity to apprehend them.
It sounds like that movie A Time to Kill with Samuel L. Jackson.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is some other footage. Was this other? Oh, this is other
the
footage of
courthouse
this.
yesterday.
Yeah. So it's been like I read a couple of think pieces on it, and one lady was like, I think they said in the article that I read that when he saw the video footage of them killing his son, he like basically you can see the distraught, like he was not in his right mind. Right now his attorney is going after mental illness because they're saying nobody in their right mind would just run into an officer random. But y'all had just shown this man a video of y'all killing his son to death, and then you allowed him to go out into the streets and just be a normal person, like that wasn't some crazy traumatic ish that he just saw.
Yeah, and
so
he was like smiling in his mugshot.
he's not right. Like
Yeah,
like he's not.
Yeah.
Because even the way that he was walking that line, I saw that red cop, that was a red bald cop right there, that looked like he couldn't wait till the cameras got off so he could punch him in the face. And that's what I'm scared of. They're gonna tear him up. They're gonna tear him up. Go to this courtroom thing. Was it a stolen car? No, they said that he got into his own car.
No, it
I
was
think.
a stolen car. The boy.
Yeah, the boy.
The deputy killed last week. What more have we learned about him?
Yeah. Someone who is described as a professional who was loved by so many people. He was a 33-year veteran on the force, someone who was coming back to fill in essentially for traffic duty during a busy commencement weekend when he was struck in that accident on Friday. We were also learning more about the arrangements to celebrate his life, public visitation Thursday evening and Friday morning, and then his official funeral midday Friday. That will be likely followed by a processional to honor his life and his service. Sinclair?
All right, Shaq Brewster in Cincinnati. Thank you.
Thanks for watching.
It's just that's such a tragic story all
It
around.
is
It's
like
awful.
I can't even imagine anything because I'm not at all okay with what he did to that random police officer that was randomly out there minding his own business. But I also am not okay with them shooting this man's son and showing him that video. I'm not saying they should have detained him, but there's got to be some social workers or some counselors out there that sit with somebody while they have to review stuff like that. You won't let me out. You just kill my baby. It's crazy. And we just got to do better with these kids too. Like we can't separate the fact that the boy was in a stolen car driving with a gun and got pulled over and ran. We all gotta make better choices. Better choices.
Got to do better.
We got to do better. This story is completely terrible.
Yeah, it's tragic.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Just to quickly go into entertainment. Anything that you guys see there? Potential juror was scrapped because she thinks Diddy can buy his way out of jail. That's gonna be crazy, huh?
Yeah, I think they're gonna have a hard time getting a good jury in this case because who doesn't know Diddy?
Yeah.
So and who isn't familiar with this case? It's been going on for too long. I think that this is the problem with detaining people for so long to start their trials, is that you give a lot of people opportunities in order to form opinions about what's going on, and then it's going to be hard to get a fair trial with a good jury.
I agree.
That's crazy. Smokey, listen, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Can you get into that? I got it.
Smokey Robinson has been accused by former housekeepers of sexual assault and rape.
Not Smokey Robinson.
Smokey Robinson.
Mr. Green Eyes?
Yeah, four former housekeepers of Smokey Robinson allege in a lawsuit filed Tuesday that the Motown music luminary repeatedly sexually assaulted and raped them while they worked for him. The suit filed in Los Angeles Superior Court seeks at least $50 million in damages over the alleged assaults, which the women say took place between 2007 and 2024, and labor violations including a hostile work environment, illegally long hours, and lack of pay. A message seeking comment from a representative for the 85-year-old Robinson was not immediately answered. The four women each say that Robinson would wait until he was alone with them in his Los Angeles house, then sexually assault and rape them over their objections. We believe that Mr. Robinson is a serial and sick rapist and must be stopped, the woman's attorney John Harris said at a news conference. All said they eventually quit over the assaults, though in some cases it took several years, and all say they feared coming forward as over fears of retaliation, public shame, and possible effects of their immigration status. Having to tell their husbands and children of these despicable actions left them filled with shame and embarrassment, Harris said. So throughout their dreadful experiences with Mr. Robinson, all four women remained silent. He said as a low-wage earners, they also feared missing a payday and not being able to afford rent or buy food for their families. All four women withheld their legal names, citing privacy concerns, and are identified as Jane Does in court documents. They appeared at the news conference with their attorneys but did not speak and covered their faces with masks. The lawsuit also names Robinson's wife, Frances Robinson, as a defendant, alleging that she enabled his behavior despite knowing about his past sexual misconduct. It also blames her for the hostile work environment, saying she berated them with language that included ethnic slurs. One woman said she worked for the Robinsons from 2012 to 2024 and was assaulted at least 20 times in that span. Another said she worked from them from 2014 to 2020 and was assaulted at least 23 times. Another said she worked for them for a year before quitting in 2024 and was assaulted at least 7 times. The fourth woman, who said she also acted as Frances Robinson's personal assistant, hairdresser, and cook, worked for them for 18 years before resigning in 2024. She cited similar experiences to the other women, but did not say how often she was assaulted. The women, some of whom worked for the Robinsons at the same time as each other, also kept stories of their assaults from one another, but are now bonding over their experience. The attorney said they declined to give details at the news conference about how they came forward and learned there were others. Oh, Lord, that's awful.
Tony Busby?
It's okay. It got to be him, because I guess my issues be like, how long ago did you guys all work together? Y'all had a group and a team and support.
Up until 2024.
Oh, up until 2024.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. So then the one woman was there for
18 years.
18 years. She was being sexually assaulted. Did she say what was the reason why she never not?
They feared retaliation.
Like what?
I don't know.
Like getting fired from?
I don't know. They felt that while they felt the assaults were worthy of criminal investigation, the women have not filed police report based on the fears that kept them from coming forward.
What do y'all think?
I don't want to say anything that makes it seem like I'm victim shaming or blaming. Malika asked the same question too. Like, why don't we go after criminal charges? If somebody is sexually assaulting me, just because they're rich doesn't mean that I feel like everything will be better if I get their money.
This is what's wrong with this country.
I would want to see them locked up. I don't want to take his money. I can take that too, but I want him to go to jail so that he doesn't do this to somebody else. I can still sexually assault somebody being poor.
Yeah.
Or having a lawsuit. Stop the behavior by stopping the person, not their wallet. I'm confused.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it didn't happen.
He's 84.
Yeah, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I would never say it didn't happen because I wasn't there. But he's 84. He's 84.
This is the new American.
Even 18 years ago, he was 60 something.
Yeah.
At what point do you say, I'm not standing for this old ass man sexually assaulting me all the time? I'm going to swap his pills out with something.
Or push him down.
That's what I'm saying. You
break his hip.
Kick him. What are we talking about?
This is telling people the new way to get rich in America. Find
it sucks.
Somebody, put some sexual assault stuff on them, and you'll get some bread.
I mean, I don't want to make it that seem like that, but it is a very popular stance that we've been seeing. And again, this puts out this whole kind of cry wolf syndrome, because now everybody's gonna look at it like how you said and be like, everybody's sexually,
because it's for
so
you.
Everybody's sexually assaulting somebody. So
I understand. It's me by myself, and I can't find nobody to corroborate my story and say it's 4 of y'all. One of y'all been dealing with it for 18 years.
They never talked about it to each other, is what this article says.
They never been around each other either.
No, they work together. It says they worked together several times, but they never talked about it with each other. And now
And then one
they're
day
bonding.
they sat there and was like, "Hey, remember I be getting sexually assaulted all the time from this man. Oh, me too, me too, me too, me too."
Yeah.
Oh, Smokey Robinson, Mr. What they call him?
Old Green Eyes.
Old Green Eyes. Whoa, wow.
I don't know if that's true.
And
I know
let me just say
Sinatra
for the
was blue
record,
eyes.
I fully believe that the old man is nasty.
Oh yeah,
I fully believe it. There's nothing that you can make me say to not make me
Oh,
believe that the old man's is nasty.
I let
We
you
know that they is
down.
nasty. Tristan, let me tell you
The little
something about an old
said,
man.
Hey Tony, what's that on your butt? It's my eyes.
The other day, I was walking the dog looking like a boy, and Sparky started barking at the truck, and they was like, he's just protecting his mama, because I was looking really hard. It was two old, dried up old men.
Yeah.
And all I could do was laugh and walk away, because we all know that the old man's is nasty.
Yeah.
Hey, come here, girl. Let me go sit on your lap. Let me tell you what you did. Come tell me what you said. Exactly. All right.
Exactly.
You sure are looking sweet today, girl. I wonder what you taste like, too.
Miss Parker.
A nasty ass old man.
Rihanna and A$AP Rocky say that they are now focused on their family time amid her pregnancy, and they were hoping for another baby. The couple announced, of course, at the Met Gala on May 5th that they are expecting their third child. We don't know when the baby is due. They already have Riot, who's 21 months, and RZA, who will be 3 later this month. And so, that's what they're doing. The
RZA
fans,
and Riot, love it.
The fans is upset. They like, Rihanna, we asked for another album, not a family album.
I thought she said that she was gonna drop an album.
She did.
She
She
said-
said she recorded some music videos that they're about to drop.
Yeah, she said.
Oh,
She
so we're
said
gonna
no.
get-
She said that they said, but are you going to be able to drop an album? She said no, maybe a couple videos. But the musician was then asked if pregnancy would delay her forthcoming 9th album, to which Rihanna pushed back and said no, maybe a couple videos, but I can still sing. So she's planning. She
Probably a
said
couple
that
of
she may
singles,
not be
yeah.
able to do videos, but she's still singing. So.
Oh, good for her.
So that A$AP Rocky is also going to be featured in a movie opposite Denzel Washington. It's a new Spike Lee movie that's coming out. The movie is called I Was Born for This. So he's going to be starring in that.
Good for
soon.
him. The Equalizer CBS run is over, but the
Yep.
showrunner reveals season 6 plans for Queen Latifah's Robin if the show ever were to continue.
Did you watch that?
I started watching it. It is one of those shows that are... It's good, right? It's one of those things that you can watch and play in the background. You might not always follow the storyline because it's just kind of on, but you can pick it up. It's very super unrealistic.
Yeah.
Like she
Yeah.
took down she was a gorilla and took down 100 men at the same time.
Yeah,
like
and
things
then
like
her
that.
hair was perfect after.
All the time. No
Yeah.
sweat, nothing, no bruises, no scratches, nothing like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
So it was one of those things that if you needed something to watch, it was cool. But they're done with it, and that sucks.
That's over.
Gabourey Sidibe's husband promises our queen sushi and a spa day to celebrate her 42nd birthday.
Can I
Love
say
you to the
something?
most.
If my husband don't love me the way that little white man loved Gabourey Sidibe, then don't love me at all. Then leave me alone.
Girl, it's hard to find a man that even kind of like you these days, who want to see you smile just a little bit, who want to do something extra to just
see
be
you
like,
smile
hey,
consistently.
Yeah, but
Wow.
like that's what. And y'all get mad at me when I say I got to find my white man because only a white man can live a black queen.
Oh my
Looking
God.
like Gabby Cinnabon.
And Gabourey Sidibe, that man loved her dirty draws.
And them 2 babies that she gave him. That's what I'm talking about, love. And until a black man can love his queen as such, I shall only date white men. That's all I said. I said what I said.
I can't date white men.
And A$AP Rocky says he wasn't nervous to act opposite. Oh, we just went into that. But yeah, shoot. If you don't got that type of energy for me, and if you don't want to make me happy, then stay away from me.
Leave me
God
alone.
Damn it.
Leave me alone.
Last but not least, Young Thug released a new date for a new album.
Oh, good.
UI Scooty.
What is
it's
it
gonna
called?
Be dropping UI Scooty.
Ooey,
SCUTI.
Scooty. It's a ooey.
UTI.
Scooty. Scooty.
But he said his next album, since he's been released from jail, It's going to be dropping in June. No reveal on the exact date, but it is dropping in June.
I don't know. That sounds like some gang reference
I was
to
gonna say
me.
he needs to release a jazz flute album and not do anything else. Don't do no scooting.
Contemporary Christianity gospel.
Do something that says butterflies in the sky.
Something that they don't have to interpret as MS-13. That's crazy.
No, something where they don't have to use his lyrics in case he mess up.
Because he got to be careful. That's terrible. Anyways, people, thank you for joining us today. We had a wonderful time. I hope you guys enjoyed the show as much as we enjoyed delivering it to you.
That's good. Speaking to Neo was really, really nice.
It's very, very good. Yeah, it's a very good time. So blessed be. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And have at it.
May the Lord open.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
You are now listening to Spark.
My name is Ariel. I moved to the U.S. at 19. I spoke no English and I struggled finding job opportunities.